Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So the pressure is on right now. The pressure is on Billy Joe Saunders. It's also on Canelo Alvarez, because your man, Demetrius Andrade, is now moving to 168. Billy Joe Saunders for his WBO title. According to reports, the WBO, they put their foot down and told Billy Joe Saunders last Friday he has 10 days to either make a fight with Demetrius Andrade, Canelo, or fight his mandatory, Zach Parker. So roughly the deadline will be around Monday for BJ to make his decision. BJ did say a week ago that he was interested in fighting Demetrius Andrade next year. And Eddie Hearn, he just said that he just talked to Demetrius Andrade and he truly believes Andrade is going to end up getting the BJ Saunders fight next. Now, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, he obviously already has a fight scheduled. He's going to fight Caleb Smith, so there's no way Canelo Alvarez is going to agree to fight BJ Saunders before he even gets in the ring with Caleb Smith. Or maybe I shouldn't say there's no way, because this situation puts Canelo in a very awkward position, because clearly the Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo problem just won't go away when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. With Andrade moving up to 168 and he gets the Sanders fight and he beats Sanders and becomes the WBO champion at 168, this completely ruins Canelo Alvarez's plans of unifying all the belts. We already know Canelo, he campaigned at 154, he campaigned at 160, and he never wanted to unify the belts because of who the champions were. When he was at 154, the champions were the Charlo brothers and Demetrius Andrade. And mind you, they were all calling out Canelo Alvarez when Canelo didn't even have a belt. Demetrius Andrade called Canelo Alvarez a bitch.
Canelo, you a bitch. I'm putting it out there. No, I don't like to disrespect men that step into the ring, but then you fighting Kirtland that hasn't been in the ring since Glenn Tapia. Well, you have an opportunity to fight Demetrius Andrade for the WBO. Damn, I thought in the sport of boxing, people want to be a champion, to have that title. I understand. I mean, you got the country, you got the country behind you, the fan base. But damn, you scared to get into a fight. I thought you was the man. If I knew some Espanol, I'd hit you up with that too, but damn. Come on, man, stop playing.
So courtesy of the Boxing Voice right there, you see Demetrius Andrade as the champion, calling out the contender, Canelo Alvarez, calling him out of his name, and Canelo still didn't take the challenge. But what Canelo did do is he waited for Demetrius Andrade to be stripped of the title, and then he fought Liam Smith for the same belt. So without fighting Demetrius Andrade or the Charlo brothers at 154, Canelo decides to move to 160. But when he moves to 160, Charlo follows him to 160 and becomes his mandatory. And while Charlo had already been his mandatory for over a year, Canelo instead decides to fight Rocky Fielding. Now, credit to Canelo for fighting Danny Jacobs at least, but let's be honest, when it comes to Jacobs, Demetrius Andrade, and Jamal Charlo, it's not a coincidence that he decided to fight the one guy that wasn't undefeated and had 2 losses. So after Canelo Alvarez beats Danny Jacobs, once again, he could either fight the WBO champion in that division, Demetrius Andrade, or he could fight his mandatory. Matter of fact, it wasn't his mandatory anymore because Canelo Alvarez actually vacated his belt, practically handing his belt over to Jamal Charlo. So now Jamal Charlo is the WBC champion. So instead of Canelo deciding to fight any of those guys, he moves up to 160 or 168, and now he's fighting Caleb Smith. And right when Canelo Alvarez moved to 168 and thought the coast was clear because of who the champions are in that division, which is Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Smith, and Caleb Plant, Canelo Alvarez told the world that he wants to now unify all of the belts. But once again, Demetrius Andrade can completely ruin all of those plans if he gets this BJ Saunders fight first. Now, if Canelo really wanted to go out of his way to avoid that from happening, he could just go ahead and sign a deal right now to fight BJ Saunders next, just to keep Demetrius Andrade from getting that title, which means it will be easier for Canelo to continue his mission to becoming a unified champion. So it's all up to BJ Saunders right now. Hopefully he ends up fighting Demetrius Andrade as opposed to fighting his mandatory, because if Demetrius Andrade beats Billy Joe Saunders, which I believe he will, that would put an enormous amount of pressure on Canelo to take the Andrade fight. I like the idea of Demetrius Andrade moving up to 168 because you still have David Benavidez. So while Canelo Alvarez has no plans of fighting any undefeated Mexicans or black fighters at the time, this is a perfect opportunity for either a Demetrius Andrade or a Charlo to go after David Benavidez. Those are 50-50 fights that can go either way. The best thing about it is the winner of those fights would still put more pressure on Canelo Alvarez to take the fight, regardless if Benavidez won or Charlo or Andrade won. So things are getting really interesting. Things are getting really, really interesting. Let's see what BJ Saunders decides to do. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. And for everyone who said they had a problem going to the website where you want to learn how to do stocks and trades with me and become your own boss, when you go to the website, you have to add HTTPS. If you just put www, it won't work. What's going on, guys? You know, I've always wanted to find a second source of income. And I've always wanted to learn about stocks and trades because I've heard so much good stuff about it. So I finally found a way to do it. And now I'm learning from 6, 7, 8-figure traders. So not only am I learning from them, but the most important thing is I get to copy their trade. So I get to earn while I learn. Now, if you want the full details, click on the link below so you can learn while you copy and paste their trades. And just understand this, guys, just by watching the video, you're doing a great job of supporting my channel, and I appreciate it. And the craziest thing about doing this trading is you can do it anywhere. All you need is an internet connection, and you can do it just with your phone. So if you want to learn how to make a second income alongside me without having to pitch, sell, or recruit, go ahead and click on the link below, and I'll see you inside. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.